Good morning, Prospect. I want to ask you a question, and I think I already know the answer. Do you hate it when God hits you across the head with a 2x4? Because I do. And this morning, God hit me across the head with a 2x4. One of my devotions started out, Tuesday was a bad day, and I brought it home. I spoke rudely to my wife, and she took my rudeness without comment. And after I had slammed myself down in my chair, she brought me a cup of hot cocoa and asked, "So what's wrong?" I have been that person too many times. I don't ever mean to, but, and please do not hear this the wrong way, I am exposed to all of the problems of all of the people at the church. And I gladly do that. But there are days when all of those problems seem to pile up. And like everyone else, I am guilty of carrying it home. And there was a really good example, both of how to respond to that and what is needed. Because the wife in the devotion offered her husband grace. Now, my wife is a wonderful person who offers grace, but my wife is also Italian, and occasionally my wife will bark back at me rightfully. Please, I'm not trying to make this about me. I'm trying to say that an awful lot of the times we need grace, and instead we get the 2x4. God is so good, and there are a couple of scriptures. Romans 5:8. God shows his love for us because while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Christ died for us, for me, after I had had a bad day. Or may I say a bad life. And he died for you the same way. But a better understanding of this, I think, comes from John chapter 10. Jesus speaking. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. When the hired hand sees the wolf coming, he leaves the sheep and runs away. That's because he isn't the shepherd. The sheep aren't really his. So the wolf attacks the sheep and scatters them. He's only a hired hand, and the sheep don't matter to him. I am the good shepherd. I know my sheep, and they know me. Just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father. I give up my life for the sheep. I have a couple of books that talk about shepherding in the Bible. And one of the points that are made in all of the books that I have are that, one, as a group, sheep are stupid. And we are compared to sheep. So please understand, you're not arguing or complaining to me. You're complaining and arguing with the writers of the Bible. I know as a sheep, I can be extraordinarily stupid. But more than sheep are stupid, Sheep can be willful. I don't know if any of you have heard me talk about the fact in the 23rd Psalm, it says, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me." The staff is an instrument of direction. The rod is an instrument of discipline. And there is a book out that is entitled "A Shepherd Looks at the 23rd Psalm." It's written by an Australian sheep herder, and it makes the point that every time you see one of those beautiful, loving pictures of Christ carrying the lamb, the reason Christ is carrying the lamb is because the lamb was willful and disobedient, and he had to hit the lamb with the stick, and the lamb had to be carried so that it came to depend and rely on the shepherd for its very life. The good shepherd doesn't run away from the sheep when the wolf comes. Those are external. But the good shepherd also does not run away from the sheep when the sheep are willful and stubborn and disobedient. The good shepherd loves his sheep. And this morning I got up and I read, and I saw myself as that person who sometimes brings my bad days home. And I am thankful that over the years, my wife has come to recognize those days, and more often than not, she offers me grace. Zig Ziglar, you have heard me talk about, tells a story that in a way is the same example, and it goes simply like this. The secretary in a big firm fusses because the delivery man didn't bring the proper case. And the delivery man fusses at his boss because they didn't put the case on the truck. And the boss fusses at the people in the warehouse because they didn't get the box to the truck. And one of the people in the warehouse who the boss just chewed out goes home, and because he's had a bad day, he yells at his little boy, who is about 8. And the little boy, who doesn't really even understand why he's being yelled at, goes upstairs to his room, and sitting in the floor in the middle of his bedroom is his cat. And the boy's angry, and he's mad, and he's frustrated, and so he just goes and he kicks his cat. And the story that Ziglar tells says that it would have been a lot better if the secretary who was having the bad day had just not yelled at the delivery man, but gone straight to the little boy's room and kicked his cat. Everybody else could have had a good day. And I wonder how many times we react to somebody who is at the end of a chain of events that they didn't cause, but somebody has kicked their cat. Folks, you do not know what other people are going through. I will say in the world today, it's sometimes dangerous to confront people who are having bad days. But more than that, as followers of Christ, our default should be to offer grace to people who have been having a bad day. Christ offers it to us. How dare we keep it to ourselves? Prospect, we've begun the journey to Jerusalem. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have a good day, and I hope you have a good weekend, and I look forward to seeing you at church this Sunday, whether it's online or in person. I love you all.